Yes.
Uyachaza ukuthi ilona i-crutch leli.
Yes. As we indicated, please don't disclose what she told you. Did she then relate to you as to what happened?
Ungangeni nje imininingwane awakusho ukuphinde lokho awakusho. Wabe senichazela nje ukuthi kwenzakalani. Yes.
Yes, and then what happened further?
Wase kwenzekani ke?
Semascheka sathola bekunelona ngathi umnyango wasekitchen udamagekile nje.
And as we checked, we found that the kitchen door was damaged a little bit.
We're going to show you a photo 18 and 19 of Exhibit D. Yes, if you can use the photo to illustrate the evidence.
Yeah.
This is where it was damaged, the witness pointing to the door in the photo.
Yes.
Yebo?
Semascheka la ngathi siyathola blood stain nase dining room.
We checked, and as we checked, we found some blood stains in the dining room.
Where precisely?
Kuphi nendawo dining room?
Duze ne couch.
Next to the couch.
We're going to show you a photo number 65, I'm sorry, photo number 65.
Yeah, it is.
If we can.
The witness pointing to the floor next to the couch. Photo number 65.
Yes.
Yebo?
Yeah, such a using this as tool. Yeah, this as tool.
Yeah, that's what we found there.
Yes.
Yebo?
Ngafonela ngikhumbula ngafonela uwarrant maphafu ukuthi asifonela ama-photographer.
If I remember well, I called Warrant Officer Mapafu to call or to contact the photographer,
Detective.
as well as the detectives.
Yes. And to which place is he attached?
Yena ukuyiphi indawo uMapafu?
So that's a CSC.
It's a CSC.
It's a CSC.
CSC.
Yes. What is that?
Yini leyo CSC?
Client Service Center, it's a police station.
It's at the police station. It's the Client Service Center.
Yes. Yes, you may proceed.
Yebo?
After isikhathi kuyongena uCaptain Zwane.
After some time, Captain Zwane came in.
So, could please, my lord, will this be an appropriate time to take the short adjournment?
Okay, thank you. 15 minutes break.
going to show you photo 5 of exhibit C.
Yebo. Yeah, it is. The witness pointing to the cone in the photo.
Yes.
Loving the projectile cone.
That's where the projectile was.
It's photo number
It's photo number 5.
5. Okay.
Yes, you may proceed.
But isikhathi ngoba uthe mangena umsiya kuke wangena after isikhathi kuke wangena let's say task team.
After Msia had entered, and then after some time thereafter, the task team came in.
Yes, and what is this task team?
Yini the task team.
Let's say task team that's where we have province if I'm not mistaken.
If I'm not mistaken, I think they were from the province.
Yes.
Yep.
I was but yeah, we may be excused.
They just said to us, you may be excused. Sending a khululeka.
As we take her over.
They will be taking over.
Yes.
We then went out.
Yes.
Ngikhumbula sesihamba nje isikhathi nje after isikhathi sahamba sa police station.
I think we stood there for a while, and thereafter we went back to the police station.
Yes.
La police station sibe saqedela i-docket sanikeza i-data type ukuthi capture.
Upon our arrival at the police station, we completed the docket and handed it over to the data capturer to capture it.
Was it then captured?
Bal capture.
Yeah, well capture.
Yes, it was.
Yes. What, do you know the particulars of the docket?
We are a particular zalo in docket.
The cast number?
Cast number
It's 636 of 10 2014.
636 of 10 2014.
Yes. You testify that you completed the docket at the police station. Where did you commence with the compilation of the docket?
Ushilo wathi ukuqedela naqedela e-police station kodwa uqala ngalo naqala kuphi ngalo?
Esikini number 13511.
At the scene at number 13511.
And after that, did you go back to the scene on the particular night?
Ngalobo busuku lo ngaba nabuyela futhi ku scene.
Siyaqhubeka nama-complaint amanye.
No, we proceeded with other complaints.
And just one aspect. When you arrived at the hospital, you testified that there was a BMW SUV and that the lady who introduced herself as Kelly came out. Was she alone?
Ushilo ukuthi uma nifika esibhedlela ne kunale SUV BMW kwaphuma lo CC ke owayichaza ukuthi uKelly Phumalo wayeyedwa yini.
Umfana nje lapha passenger seat.
There was a gentleman in the passenger seat.
Is there anything else you wish to add?
Khona okunye ofuna ukusho? No.
Thank you, Mother. That is all.
Sir, please.
As the court pleases, my lord. Afternoon, Mr. Matebula. Now, your evidence is that you received a dispatch over radio about a shooting incident at 13511 Mzamo, Kutlano Street, Mzamo section on the 26th of October 2014, correct?
Uyasho ke ukuthi nathola ke lo mbiko onitshela nge-shooting in progress e-13511.
Yebo.
Yes.
And your version is that you attend upon that scene and you are met by Kelly Kumalo's uncle, Temba Kumalo, correct?
Uma senifika lapho kusini nahlangana noThemba Khumalo.
Yebo.
Yes.
Now, to just go back a bit, your testimony is that you meet a lady that waves you on and points to a particular direction, correct?
Ishilo nokuthi kunalo mama ke owayeni waiver enikhombisa ke direction ethize.
Yebo.
Yes.
Was it just a lady or were there two ladies or more than one?
Kwakulo mama yedwa noma babe babili,
More than one.
more than one.
Okay. And by their gesturing with their hands and pointing out, they pointed to a direction down Kutlano Street in the direction of the park, correct?
Ma nikhombisa ngako direction ye park.
Yebo.
Yes.
Now, as you interact with those ladies, in order to know who are you going to look for at the park, did you get any information about the number of the people that had run in that direction?
Bathe ama-suspect bagijimela ngale.
They didn't say or mention the number, they just said the suspect ran towards that direction.
And you did not receive information about the facial, physical, and clothing description of the people that had run in that direction, correct?
Ukuthi banjani emzimbeni, ubuso babo babegqokeni, abazange banitshele lokho.
Abazange.
No, they didn't.
And you were the driver of the police car that night, correct?
Futhi nemoto yamaphoyisa yeshayelwa uwe ngalela langa.
Yebo.
Yes.
Now, you drive towards that direction of the park. How far is the park from that residence, the 13511 Kutlano Street,
Ukusuka
section?
ukusuka kuleya address ukuya epark, kude kangakanani ipark?
Akukho kude kangako. Ngathi akukho kude kangako.
It's not that far.
Not that far.
If, by your estimation, estimation, will it be more than 500 meters or
That's
less than that?
Ngathi 100, ngathi ngabeka 100.
I'd say 100.
And you drive to that vicinity of the park, at the park, what do you do when you arrive there?
Uma senifika khona ke lapho epark nafika nenzani?
Sithi kube shooting if I'm here ready sangena sahamba straight sa-check sangabuya zange sibone imoto.
Sorry, seeing that it was a shooting incident that had been reported, the firearms were ready, so we drove and we just checked, and couldn't see anyone. Yebo.
Let's clarify the word we checked. Did you physically enter the park with the motor vehicle, in the motor vehicle, or you parked the motor vehicle somewhere and entered the park on foot?
Ingaba uma nicheka niphakathi emotweni, nicheka niphumile emotweni, nahamba ngeenyawo?
Asiphumanga emotweni, just i-crescent indawo yakhona.
We didn't alight from the vehicle. The place is a crescent.
As educated as I am, I don't know what the crescent is. Explain that for me.
Yini crescent?
Crescent uthi i-straight ungangena kanje bese uphumele ngale.
It's a street that you are able to enter through and then you go out on the other side.
So you did the runaround at
So-
the vicinity of the park. You drove around.
Nangena ngaleso strato nase niyophuma on the other side.
Sesa-check yeah.
Yes, we checked.
And did you beam the lights of the police vehicle into the park to see if there are people in the park?
Ingaba ke ama lights emoto lena noma even lana nawabhima yini eparkini ukubona ukuthi akunamuntu yini?
Yebo bewalayitiwe.
Yes, they were on.
And how long did it take for you to do that initial cursory search of the park?
Loko ke ukuthi ningene, ni drive, ni check bese nihamba kwanithatha isikhathi esingakanani.
not eside man ngoba azange since sithole ukuthi akunamuntu around lapha sesabuyela endlini.
Not a long time. By checking and seeing that there was no one there, we then drove back to the house.
And at the house, that's when you meet Themba Khumalo, who introduces himself as Kelly Khumalo's uncle, correct?
Nase uma nifika lapho ke nahlangana noThemba, wanitshela ukuthi uncle ka Kelly.
Yebo.
Yes.
Who was specifically talking to Themba Khumalo? Was it yourself or Sergeant Mthethwa?
Uwe
both of
noma
you?
umthetho owayekhuluma noThemba.
Ngikhumbula ngathi bekakhuluma nami.
If I remember well, I think you are speaking to me.
But sometimes uma ngicela ukukhuluma uthi naye ufuna ukubuza be. Shothi bekakhuluma ngathi uyithuka kahle.
But at times you'd find out that I'm done talking, he would also want to know something. So basically he was speaking to both of us.
Now, what did Themba Khumalo tell you exactly about the shooting incident that you responded to at that residence?
Yini enayitshela uThemba mayelana shooting eyenzeka lapha?
Uthe ngathi badubuleke uSenzo.
He said that it was alleged, or it was said that Senzo had been shot.
And by that, did you understand him to be saying Senzo was shot in the house or in the premises of 13511 Kutlano Street?
Ngaba ethi ke bathi kudubuleke uSenzo endlini noma udubuleke ejardini yalapha e13511.
Ngikhumbula ngathi sambuza wathi ayekho sure but singaye endlini wathi abekho sure but singaye endlini.
I think we asked him, or I asked him, but he then said he wasn't certain. We can go to the house, but I am not certain.
Now, at the preliminary level, as a police officer and a first responder, if somebody says to you, Senzo has been shot at 13511 Kutlano Street, although the particulars thereof are still scant, would you agree that by so saying, he is informing you that that place is a scene of crime? Would you agree with me?
Uma ke lo muntu esenitshela ukuthi lo muntu udubuleke la e13511. Yebo akasho ukuthi endlini, akasho ukuthi ejardini, kodwa uthi udubuleke la e1351. Ngokwenza kanjalo lo muntu lona akanitsheli ke manje ukuthi yisini lena.
Ngisho njalo.
That's what he's saying.
Okay. And you testify further that you then asked Themba Khumalo to open for you so that you can conduct a walkthrough of the crime scene, because now it is a crime scene, correct?
Nase nimcela ke ukuthi anivulele nizokwazi ukuthi nje nihambe nibheke ngoba ke manje sekuyi crime scene.
Asesangena sa check as maybe sithi sokuthola maybe ama cartridge sibone ukuthi vele le crime scene vele.
We went in to check to see whether we'll be able to find some cartridges, then to be able to say indeed this is a crime scene.
And by your testimony, you say when you entered the house, its condition was mixed up, to use your words. What do you mean by mixed up?
Ushilo ke ngaphambili wathi uma ningena lapha endlini wathola ukuthi ku mixed up. Ubusho ukuthini uma uthi wabona ukuthi ku mixed up?
Kumele izitsha ziphezulu besezinkini izitsha. Yeah, izitsha nje la ekitchen nje.
There were some dishes in the kitchen, just in the kitchen, on the sink. The dishes were there.
And you make certain observations in the kitchen initially, and let's clarify that. What do you observe at the first instance when you entered that house in the kitchen?
Uma sungena ke ngena kokuqala la ekitchen ke yini oyibonayo?
Ngayibona ngikhumbula ngathi we crutch lapha ka left.
The crutch on the left side next to the stove.
And what else, if you recall, at the first instance?
I think the head as well.
And then you then move on to the kitchen
Cans.
through the passage.
And as well as the cans.
Okay. Are the cans in the kitchen?
Now my cans is in the dining room.
Okay. And your observation or your summation of you seeing the cans, you say it looked like there was a party there. What informs that summation of yours?
Ushilo-ke ukuthi uma ubona lama cans la kwakungathi nje banephathi yini eyakubangela ukuthi ucabange kanjalo?
kuyilizitsha bese nalo tshwala lawo uyabula.
The dishes as well as the liquor that was there.
But from photo 64 that was shown to you, we only see 2 cans of alcohol.
Kodwa-ke kulesi sithombe obusibonisiwe lana bekuwamakheni amabili nje kuphela utshwala.
Yebo.
Yes.
One swallow makes the rain. I'll leave it. Now, at the first instance, did you then notice blood anywhere in the house?
Uma nifika noma ningene kokuqala laphayana igazi kukhona la ngabona khona igazi uma nifika kokuqala.
Mangikhumbula kahle igazi silibone wesithumba bese sibuya wesecond instead.
If I remember well, we only saw the blood when we came back for the second time.
On that aspect, okay, you recall that you made 2 statements regarding this incident, correct?
Uyakhumbula ukuthi kune-statement oyi-2 owazenza ne?
Yebo.
Yes.
Ngikhumbula.
The first one that I'm not going to refer you to was made on the 26th, early hours of 27th of October 2014, when this incident occurred, correct?
Esinye lesi wasenza phakathi kwe-26 nasekuseni ngeyi-27 October 2014.
Yebo.
Yes.
And the second one was made on the 15th of November 2018, and it was taken by an officer by the name of Richard Ramukosi. Do you know him?
Esinye sango November 2018 sathathwa uRamukosi uyamazi?
Yeah, khona wazothatha statement.
Yes, someone.
Ngisakhumbula ukuthi ubani but khona umuntu owayes.
Yes, someone came to take a statement as to who it was. I can't remember.
If I can ask that the witness be provided with A97, that's a document that he deposed to on that date. 15 February. Okay, I'll correct that. Now there's a document in front of you, and how was this document made? Did you narrate the story to the person that was making it, or did you reduce it yourself into writing?
Wawumtshela lo muntu lona ke oweza kuwe noma wayibhalela wena ngokwakho?
Hayi bengimtshela.
I was narrating.
In what language were you conversing with this person when?
Nisebenzisa eyiphi language?
Ngathi isiZulu.
IsiZulu.
And as you are narrating the story, he writes it down. After it was completed, was the document read back to you?
Uma eseqedile ke usibhala ingaba wakufundela yini lento ayibhalile?
Ngiyifunda wathi ngiyifunda.
I read it. He asked me to read it.
And having read it, you were satisfied with the contents thereof, correct?
Uneliseka ke ilokho okubhaliwe.
Yebo.
Yes.
And having been satisfied with the document, you then appended your signature on the document. And if you can look at the document before you, there are, I think it's a first number and a signature at the bottom right of each page and at the end of the last page.
Wase uyasayina ke khona uyasayina la khona ne-force number futhi.
Yebo.
Yes.
Now, would you confirm that this is the statement that you made to Ramukosi on the, let me get the date correct, on the 15th of February 2018?
Yebo.
Now, on the
Is it February? Did you not say November?
it's February. That was a
Okay.
mistake at the beginning. When the statement is 15 February.
It's the additional statement.
Now, my lord, I'll need the guidance of the court with respect to Mafaladiso and related cases. Should I read the whole document to him then?
How many pages is it? You want to engage him on how many pages?
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 pages.
On all the pages?
Sorry, my lord.
You're engaging him on all the pages?
No, I'm only engaging him in respect of paragraph 4 thereof.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Okay, thank you, Madam Chairman, that's it.
Phone.
Now, I'm going to read to you paragraph 4 of A97, and it reads as follows, and I quote, Temba was on his way out of the house and informed us Senzo was shot inside the house. Temba Kumar further informed us that Kelly, together with other victims, took Senzo to the hospital in Botselong. Temba told us that only the people in the house know what happened were all at the hospital. We entered the house and I noticed blood stain on the floor in the house was in an untidy stage. Do you see that paragraph?
uThemba ke wayesendleleni ephumayo endlini wasitshela ke ukuthi uSenzo wadutshulwa phakathi endlini wasitshela ke ukuthi ke endlini ngabona
Corner of the couch and TV stand on your second visit to the house upon returning from hospital.
lana ke lokho kubhalwe la kuyaphikisana naloko okushoyo lana uthi igazi walibona uma ningena nje okokuqala endlini kodwa ke mawunikezwa ngobufakazi uthe igazi nalibona noma walibona uma nibuye kwesibili.
Alibona mase sibuya kwesibili kahle kahle.
I saw the blood when we came back for the second time.
Now, let's move on. Upon having done that walkthrough the first time, you asked Temba Kumalo to lock the house so that you can go to the hospital, use your way to rush to hospital to get further clarification as to what transpired in that house, correct?
Uthi mase niqedile ke namcela uThemba Khumalo ukuthi akavale nihambe niye esibhedlele niyozwa ke ukuthi kwenzekani kahle kahle.
Now, when you go to that Botselong hospital, and you know now that Senzo was shot at that house, it's a crime scene, did you, for the first time before going to Botselong, cordon off that crime scene?
Uma naseniya ke eButsilong ke manje niyazi ke ukuthi sekuyi crime scene then ngalesikhathi nihamba niye esibhedlele ngaba na cordina ngalesa sikhathi naval. No.
And as a first responding police officer to a shooting incident as it was described to you in the dispatch, you've got certain roles and responsibilities towards the scene, correct?
Nanje ngamaphoyisa okuqala ke afika lapha yana ke noma ama first responders ukuthi kukhona lokho naziyo ukuthi kufanele ni nama responsibility noma nama roles ekufanele niwenze ku scene.
Yebo.
Yes.
The first, and you'll agree with me whether I'm wrong or right, is to assess the scene when you arrive to see whether there are injured people get medical attention, correct?
Okokuqala ke ukuthi kubheke ukuthi abakhona yini abantu abalimele ukuthi uma bekhona abantu abalimele ukuthi bathole usizo.
Yebo.
Yes.
And once the injured have been moved out of the scene and it is clear, then the second purpose is to secure the scene and preserve it so that evidence that is there is not contaminated and tampered with by removing unauthorized personnel from that crime scene, correct?
Uma ke lokho senikwenzile ke ukubheka ke ukuthi noma uqiniseka ukuthi isini lena ke isecuriwe kwaye futhi yavalwa ke ngokuthi kususwe abantu abaegafanele ukuthi babe lapho.
Yebo.
Yes.
Let me just go back. When you first get at the scene, you meet Temba Kumalo. Were there any other people already at that scene, in the yard, in the house?
Ngalesikhathi nifika okokuqala nihlangana noThemba Khumalo babe khona abanye abantu ababe lapho.
Ilabantu laba lapha ku pavement nalo mama lo ospointele ilona ama suspect.
It's the people that were on the pavement together with the lady that was giving us directions as to where the suspects ran towards.
Now, to preserve and protect, because people are the most contaminators on the scene, you cordon off the scene with a police tape, correct?
Ukuqiniseka ke ukuthi ke akukho kwenziwayo ke abantu ukuphazanyiswa kwescene ngoba ke abantu ibona ke bakwazi ukuthi bangangcolisaka noma baphazamise iscene uyavala ngetape. Yes.
Now, the two ladies that you referred to, that they were pointing to a certain direction towards the park that you met on the scene. Would you agree with me that those are potential witnesses because they are pointing to potential suspects, correct?
Laba babili ke ushoyo ukuthi babekhomba ke bethi ama suspects ayengalena ke ukuthi ke kwangama ama potential witnesses ngoba bayakhomba bayasho ukuthi ama suspects ayengakuphi.
Ebangazi just bathi abantu babalekile ngale not ukuthi bayabazi ukuthi bababonile kanje bathi abantu ama suspects agijimile ngale leya direction.
It was not to say that they knew who they were. They just said that the suspects ran towards that direction.
Hence, I'm saying they were potential witnesses because you'll only learn later when you've taken their details and interview them to say, who did you see running there? You'll agree?
Ingakho ngisho ukuthi nayo ukuthi bangama witness babe ngaba noma babe ama potential witness ukuthi lokho ke ubuzokwazi kamuva ukuthi uma ubabuza ukuthi ubone bani obani labo babonile. Yes.
Now, did you obtain the contact details and residential addresses of the two ladies?
Ama contact details kanye nama address alama lady lawa wawathatha.
Angikhumbula kahle athi ngaphatha amagama if I'm not mistaken athi wathatha amagama.
If I remember well, I think I took their names.
And you didn't take the details of where they reside or immediately in your pocketbook take their contact numbers?
Ukuthi bahlala kuphi nama contact numbers awuzange kwathatha.
Just ngafaka kulo pocketbook le.
In the pocketbook.
And that pocketbook is not going to assist us because now it's gone absent without leave. Correct?
Angithi ayisekho ke manje le pocketbook. It's not there anymore.
Now, your testimony, just to clear this one out, there's you, Sergeant Mthethwa, and the two student constables. You all drove to the hospital, correct?
Number 4 wena umthetho nama students awu2 na esibhedlela. Yes.
And the only person left on the scene guarding, for lack of better word, guarding the scene was Themba Khumalo, correct?
Kwasala uThemba Khumalo yedwa la.
To you, or what happened, that interaction? Clarify it for me, please.
Uthukeli wehla wabe eseza kunina kwenzeka kanjani?
Mangikhumbula kahle uye wama nathi sama masima waphuma akazange waphuma nje la duze nemoto yakhe nathi saphuma sama nje duze nemoto yethu washo ukuthi wabuza ukuthi nize nge-incident yasenzo ngathi yebo.
She stopped. She didn't.
Evidence.
When we asked her that, she told us to go inside. The people, there are some people there inside the hospital who were in the house.
Now you get into the hospital, what transpired in the house on that night in question?
Ushilo uma ningena esibhedlela bakhona ke laba behleli ku left be family. Ingabe ukhona enabuza kuyena ke labo. We inquired when we had already seen him and after having received Senzo's declaration.
Now, how long did you remain at the hospital? How long did you remain there?
Isikhathi singakanani enasichitha lapha esibhedlela?
Azange isikhathi esincane ngoba azange kube isikhathi eside ngoba abolona basheshe bafika bomkwili.
It was not a long time, a short time, because the Mukwili, the people that we contacted, were very quick to arrive.
And your version is that you then asked one of the persons that were in the house to accompany you back to the crime scene, and Makhumalo volunteered for that, correct?
Yes.
And you left with Makhumalo back to the scene, correct?
Nahamba naye. Yes.
Was Makhumalo accompanied by any other lady when you went back to the scene?
Uma uMakhumalo engene emotweni yenu nihamba naye ubuyela endlini. Ukhona umama owayehamba naye noma ilady elagibela nayo uMakhumalo.
Mangikhumbula bekayi-1 umama ngoba sashiya ama-students awashiya esibhedlela.
I'm asking you, a lady came and gave evidence at this court. Her name is Nthabise Mokete. She says she and Makumalo accompanied the police officers back to the scene so that they can go and collect information that was needed for the purposes of records or whatever at the hospital. What's your comment on that?
Imbangela ukuthi ngikubuze ke leyo mbuzo kunosisi ke noma umama obelana ke wakwamu uNthabiseng wakwaMkiti othe wahamba noMakhumalo bagibele emotweni yamaphoyisa ukubuyela endlini.
Ngikhumbula umama.
I only remember Makhumalo.
And just for completeness sake, at the hospital, you did not interview Mthokozisi Twala, Longwe Twala, Zandile Khumalo, and Tumelo Madlala, correct?
Lama gama baliwe awuzange ukhulume nalabo bantu labo esibhedlela.
Angizange ngikhulume nawo.
No, I didn't.
Now, you go back to the house for the second time now with Makhumalo in company, and you conduct a search of the scene for the second time, correct?
Mase nibuyele endlini ke manje senihamba naye Makhumalo ngaphinda futhi ke nasesha nisesha kwesibini ke manje.
Yebo.
Yes.
And your testimony is that at some stage, you then observe that projectile that was shown to you on photo 5 of Exhibit C, correct?
Ushilo ukuthi nisabheka kanjalo nasenibona leya projectile okhulume ngayo.
Yebo.
Yes.
Now, our favorite person, Nthabiseng Mokete, has testified on that aspect in this court to say she was with Makhumalo in the room at that time, the room opposite the kitchen. Then she went and fetched water officers. Is this not what you are looking for? So meaning that she's the one that found or saw that projectile.
Lonthabiseng ke uyena ke othi wa ekitchen eyokhelela amanzi ke wabo esebona leya projectile wabuza emaphoyiseni ukuthi asikona lokho nikubhekayo so uthi uyena umuntu wabona le projectile. I don't know about that one.
So you've never seen or that person that's called Nthabiseng Mokete on the scene that night from hospital?
No.
And you've never traveled with her back from hospital?
Anihambanga naye. No. I don't remember.
Now, when you search the house for the second time, except the projectile on the floor that you point later to Captain Zwane, did you find anything else?
Uma senisesha ke manje ngaphandle kwale projectile khona okunye nakuthola? No.
And did you conduct a search in the kitchen around the cupboard, kitchen cupboard areas for any exhibits?
La une cupboard ekhona noma ke cupboard ekhona la ekitchen ingaba kuleyo ndawo leyo nasesha yini?
Yebo sasesha nje indlu yonke.
Yes, we did the entire house.
And you didn't locate any cartridges, any projectiles on those kitchen countertops, correct?
Lapho zange ngithole ama cartridge noma ama projectiles. No.
Now, evidence has been led in this court that Mapiri cleaned the scene prior to your arrival at 135111. Do you have a comment on that?
No comment.
As the court pleases, my lord, no questions for you, please.
Thanks. Yes, Mr. Mason.
Say just one aspect. I request that we make assurances that we sure about it. May you please beam us the photos of the kitchen? Where particularly the sink and the cupboards are depicted. I don't know what photo is it. Can you please check it for us? Whilst they are busy with the identification of the photo that I specifically want us to use. Photo number 30. I just said only one aspect. Your testimony is that you searched in the house with a view to try and find out if you'd be able to find other cartridges, as we have already been informed that this was a shooting scene, then you couldn't find any.
Ufakazi bakho uyashoka ukuthi nani bheka ke endlini ke manje bana senizwile ukuthi shooting scene le ukuthi nizothola ama cartridge anathola lutho.
Yebo.
Yes.
you also say that you searched on the kitchen cupboard, on the zinc, but still you couldn't locate any cartridges.
Khabethe uzinki na search kodwa zange ngithole lutho. Yes, we searched.
Now, let's look at photo 13. Did you also conduct search specifically for this area of the kitchen?
Le ndawo eveziwe lana nayo nabheka kuyona.
Sabheka kitchen.
Yes, we looked in the kitchen.
Thank you. Just bring us another photo. And you couldn't find anything?
Anathola lutho. No.
I think photo number 15 depicts the photo that has just been shown previously, where you said that on the right-hand side of photo number 15, it's a depiction of the photo that has been referred to previously, and then you said you searched it, you couldn't find anything. And then on photo number 15, there's a sink. I think it's what appears to be a carpet where there's a yellow item there. The photo that's on your left, did you also conduct a search on that area of the kitchen?
Yabo la kunalento left yellow khona, ne? Nalapho nabheka khona.
Sabheka.
Yes, we did.
And you did not find
Zange
anything?
ngithole lutho. No.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. My lord, got no further question.
There is no cross-examination. Thank you.
Mr. Mthethwa, can you tell this court?
Mathebula.
Oh, sorry, my lord, Mr. Mathebula. What do you know, or what is the purpose and intent?
Secure a crime scene.
Ama-exhibits ne-information.
Ukuthini?
Thola ama-exhibits, singathola
Okay.
ama-exhibits.
It's to get information as well as the exhibits.
Is to get information as well as exhibits.
Information and exhibits.
Yebo.
Yes.
Okay. That's what you understand.
Ilogo understandayo.
Okay. By the term to secure the crime scene, do you understand anything? What does that mean?
Le term lena yona ethi ukusecure a crime scene. Ukukhona understandayo ngayo.
Yebo.
Yes.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Isho ukuthini?
To a police officer. I'm speaking to you as a police officer.
Umuntu oyiphoyisa ngikhuluma nawe nanjengephoyisa.
Ukuvala isini. Khombisa ukuthi ukuvala isini ukuvala isini nge-tape bese uyagada isini.
It is to cordon off the scene with a tape and then you guard the scene.
Okay. You testified that you entered the house and you searched. You couldn't find any exhibits. Is that what you said?
Ushilo ukuthi nangena anatholanga exhibits.
Yebo.
Yes.
Did you guard the crime scene after that?
Emva kwalokho nayigada yini i-crime scene? No,
And the reason
because we didn't find anything.
Ngitsasitholanga.
Isn't it that we didn't get anything?
Okay. To you, what do you understand by the crime scene? Is it a crime scene because we have seen certain exhibits, or it's a crime scene because the offense had been committed in that crime, in that area?
Uma kukhulunywa nge-crime scene, kukhulunywa nge-crime scene ngoba kunento isehlakalo esenzakele khona lapho noma i-crime scene ngoba kunezinto oyibonayo noma eyitholakele khona lapho. The incident,
Irrespective of whether you see or we are able to point out any exhibits, it's a crime scene.
no noma ke ukuthi ke uyakhomba noma khona izinto okwazi uyikhomba eyitholakalayo ukuthi i-crime scene.
I think isitholile nazi ngiyazibona akekho umuntu ongangitshela ngazi ukuthi nazi lona it's a crime scene.
But if I find exhibits and I can see here they are and there's no one that can tell me anything, but yes, it is a crime scene.
Like a cartridge or a bullet.
Like cartridges and bullets.
Okay. What do you understand? What are you referring to as exhibits?
Uma ukhuluma ngama exhibits ukhuluma ngani?
Because we have mentioned the head, we have mentioned the crash that you identified inside the house. You also mentioned the cans.
Ukhulumile ngesigqoko? ukhulumile nge-crush, ukhulumile ngama-can.
Do you identify them as exhibits or non-exhibits?
Kuwena lokho bekungama-exhibits noma cha?
kube ama-exhibit mase sibuya noma amasho ukuthi lezi ezani lezinto.
They became exhibits when we came back with the lady and she told us as to what those items were.
Oh, okay. But firstly, when you came, when you saw those items, you didn't think it formed part of the exhibits?
Kodwa uma nifika ukuqala nizibona bekungasiwona ama-exhibits.
Cabanga ukuthi maybe intombi zabo maybe lapha endlini nabokheli nabobani.
We were under the impression that those items belonged to them, the people that were in the house, Kelly and the others.
Oh, okay. So according to your knowledge, what is it that forms part of the exhibits? It's only the empty cartridges?
Kuwena ke lokho okuba yingxenye yama-exhibits, ama-cartridge are empty.
kube projectile lapha nesigqoko.
There, it was the projectile as well as the head.
There was a projectile that you saw?
Kuna projectile enayibona?
Yebo masibuye kusithiwe bikhona.
Yes, when we came back for the second time.
Oh, okay. And you also testified that you looked for the cartridges. Did I hear you correctly?
Yebo.
Yes,
Yes.
asithola.
And you didn't find anything?
Asithola.
we didn't find it.
Okay. And that projectile that you saw for the first time, where did it come from?
Manje le projectile benibona okokuqala ke ibibuya kuphi?
Sorry, when you came back from hospital?
Uma senibuya esibhedlela.
Shuthi kulona it's like shuthi le projectile angithi umama akho ungalusitshela ukuthi yoba ne-shooting. Siyasa check ama-checker siyasathola that projectile.
The Kumalo lady informed us that there was a shooting, and then upon our checking, we then came across that projectile.
So it means that the first time when you inspected the crime scene, you failed to take a proper look. That is why you couldn't see that projectile for the first time.
Okusho ukuthi uma nibheka okokuqala ukuthi anibhekisisanga kahle ingakho ningayibonanga leya projectile.
Sibonanga okokuqala.
We didn't see it the first time.
I just missed the introduction of your duties. You were attached to the crime prevention unit. Am I correct?
Yebo.
Yebo.
Okay.
Yes.
And what are the duties of a crime prevention police officer?
Umsebenzi ke wephoyisa i-crime prevention yini?
Prevent a crime.
It's to prevent crime.
Okay. And then now you are at the scene. You had been told, or you have been informed that there has been a shooting incident. Did you prevent any crime from further happening at the crime scene?
Manje ke nilaphayana ke nitsheliwe ke ukuthi ke kunalesi sehlakalo esenzekile ingaba na preventa yini ukuthi kube nesinye sehlakalo esenzekayo.
Sorry my lord, to be specific, at the first time when you arrived at the scene.
Uma nifika kokuqala laphayana.
Ngicela ungiphindele yona mama.
Can you repeat the question?
Okay. You said one of your duties as a crime prevention officer is to prevent crime from happening.
Uthi ke ukupreventa i-crime umsebenzi wenu. Yes.
Then my question is, when you arrived at the scene for the first time, did you prevent the crime from happening?
Uma nifika ke lapha ngaba na preventa yini crime ukuthi ingenzeki?
Seyenzekile.
It had already happened.
Yes. Did you prevent the crime from further happening?
Ukuthi phinde futhi yenzeke na preventa yini? No.
Okay. Now, when you arrive at the crime scene, the first officer to arrive at the crime scene, what do you do before the arrival of the other officers at the crime scene?
Nanjengephoyisa lokuqala ke ukufika ku crime scene yini oyenzayo ngaphambi kokuthi kufika amanye ama-officer?
Check-a i-scene, check-e, uqeda ukucheck-a bese uthola information, uqeda ukuthola information, if i-positive, ukhondona i-scene.
You check for information, and then upon you check and then gather information, and then upon gathering that information, if it is positive, you then cordon off the scene.
Yeah, did you do that when you
Nakwenza.
arrived at the crime scene?
Nakwenza lokho? No.
Okay. One more question. You further testified that it was upside down inside the house when you arrived, as if there had been a party. Do you remember that?
Ushilo ukuthi kwaku mixed nje laphayana ngongathi kwakune party.
Ya ngibona ngizitsha ekitchen nje.
Yes, by seeing the dishes in the kitchen.
Yeah. So the dishes showed that there had been a party.
Nalama can lawa 2-3
As well as those 2-3 cans.
Oh, okay. Then that told you that, informed you that there had been a party because of the 2 cans.
Lawa makheni ke lawa bese sithi kwakune party. That's how I thought.
What was your years of experience at the time of the incident?
It was 6.
6 years. A constable, trainee constable or a qualified constable?
Oh, constable noma say trainee.
qualified.
Qualified.
Okay. At the time when you decided to go to the hospital, why didn't you separate amongst the 4 colleagues of you who attended the crime scene and leave others at the scene to secure the crime scene?
Uma nihamba nesibhedlela manje kuma nani u4 njena wena noMthethwa nalama students awu2 kwathi ninike ningahlukanisani abanye basale la abanye bahamba baye esibhedlela.
We were some student.
They were still students.
Okay, and then amongst yourselves?
Nina nababili
Some constable.
we were constables.
Yes, amongst yourself, I mean, why didn't you separate between you and Constable Mthethwa?
Ngibuza ukuthi kwakuthini kwakungani ukuthi ningahlukanisani ke wena ke naye uConstable Mthethwa. That never came to us.
Oh, okay. And you further testified that when you came back from the hospital, Makhumalo was the one you were busy with inside the kitchen.
Uchilo nokuthi manje buya esibhedlela uMakhumalo uyena ke nani busy naye ekitchen.
Yep.
Yes.
Where were the other family members, Zandile Khumalo and Kelly Khumalo at that time?
Abanye laba ke befamily uZandile uKelly babekuphi?
Sathatha umama esibhedlela seza kushuthi wasele esibhedlela.
The only person we took from the hospital was the mother, which means that they remained behind at the hospital.
Okay. Other than the 4 of you who were inside the kitchen, were there any other people inside the house?
Ngaphandle kwenu ke ababephakathi lapho bakhona abanye ababephakathi endlini.
Captain Zwane.
Captain Zwane,
Yeah, other than you who were at the kitchen.
ngaphandle kwenu ababese kitchen. No.
Oh, okay. Ms. Ntabisengi Mukete also testified that she was inside the house and she even came into the kitchen where you were conducting the investigation. Did you see him?
Mthabiseni uthi ke wayesendlini ke naye waze wazofika ke nase kitchen la enani busy khona. Wambona? I don't even remember her.
And she even testified that she is the one who informed you about the projectile that was lying on the floor.
Nokuthi uyena onikhombisa leya projectile eleli phansi. No.
Okay. How was the visibility inside the kitchen where you were conducting the investigation?
La enani busy khona ekitchen kwakukanjani ke ngokubonakala noma ke ukukhanya?
Light nje kahle.
It was like this. There was light.
Oh, okay. And it is your evidence that you conducted search even on top of the cupboards. Is that correct?
Uyasho futhi ukuthi nangaphezulu kwekhabethe leya nasesha futhi.
Yebo sasesha.
Yes, we did.
And if there was any exhibits there on top of the cupboard, who would have seen it?
Uma kuwukuthi kwakunayo exhibit eyikhona lapha nanizoyibona.
Lapha ngeke ngithi bengizoyibona kanjani but asibonanga sitholanga next.
I wouldn't say that we would have, but we didn't see or find anything.
And you further testified that Makhumalo. Okay, sorry, my lord, can I just rephrase? Did you say Makhumalo picked up the hat or she pointed out the hat?
uMakhumalo isigqoko leso wasithatha noma wasikhomba nje wathi nasi isigqoko.
Wasithatha wathi besigqoka sathi ayi sibeke phansi besigqoka suspect.
She picked it up and said it was worn by the suspect, and then we said no, put it down.
Okay. Did you record that hat had been touched by Makhumalo?
Nakubhala phansi ukuthi uMakhumalo wasibamba leso sigqoko leso. No, we didn't.
Did you inform
Sorry?
Mr.
Sisimention phela sangisisho ukuthi wasibamba.
You mentioned it only, but you never said that he touched it.
You mentioned to who?
Mention Akbane?
Ngisho ku statement.
I'm referring to the statement.
You mentioned that Makhumalo touched the head.
Cha.
No.
Yeah.
Just mention isigqoko kuphela.
Only mentioned the head.
Did you understand my question?
Uzwile yini umbuzo wami?
I said, did you record that in your statement that Makhumalo had touched the head?
Lokho kuthi wasibamba nakubhala yini ku statement? No.
Why not? Because it amounted to the tampering with the exhibits. Why you didn't record such crucial information in the statement?
Kwangani ke ningayibhali ngoba ke manje sekusho ukuthi manje khona okukwenzekile ke ku exhibit noma ke ku tempera ne exhibit. Kwangani ke ningayibhali nisho ukuthi usibambile? That we didn't think about that.
Oh, you also didn't think. But were you in your sound and sober senses when you attended the crime scene?
Ngalesikhathi niya ke ku crime scene noma uya ke ku crime scene wawuse kuma senses akho ngokuphelele? Yes.
Oh, okay. Furthermore, you testify, or did you inform Mr. Mosia when he arrived that the head had been touched by Ms. Makhumalo?
Uma efika umsiya wamtshela yini ukuthi uMakhumalo wasibamba lesigqoko?
Angisakhumbuli kahle.
I can't remember well there.
Oh, okay, so he was so it means Constable Mosia was also misinformed by the members who attended the crime scene first.
Just
Kwakusho ukuthi ke umsiya ke akazange atshelwe ke iqiniso ke ilaba abafika kuqala ku scene.
just nje sesamtshela ukuthi uma ukhumala uthi lesigqoko esibanjwa ngalona esigqoka ama suspect.
We only informed him that Makhumalo conveyed to us that this hat was worn by the suspect.
Yeah, that's not my question. Just be specific to my question.
Aswona ke umbuzo wami cela nje uphendule umbuzo wami.
Ngicela uphinde.
Can you repeat it?
So it means Mr. Mosia was misinformed because he was never told of it.
You can't say he was misinformed. He was not informed.
He was not informed. Thank you, my Lord.
Misinformed means they told Musia something else.
As the court pleases.
No, I didn't tell
As the
him.
court pleases, my Lord. Sorry?
No, I didn't. We didn't inform him.
Okay. And you said after checking on top of the cupboards, then the other members of the task team arrived.
Uthi ke
Did I hear
sabheka ke
correctly?
khona lapho kwase kufika ke abe task team. Yes.
How many members?
Babe bangaki?
If you can still recall.
Uma usakhumbula.
It was more than 2.
More than 2. Babe ngaphezulu ko 2.
Oh, okay. And they all entered inside the kitchen.
Bangena phakathi ekitchen bonke. Yes, they came in.
And the 4 of you who were already inside the kitchen.
Kanye nani futhi abawu4 ababese bephakathi ekitchen. Yes.
So it means in total how many members now were you inside the kitchen?
Naniseni bangaki ke manje abamember aye phakathi ekitchen.
Ngisakhumbula ukuthi bayingaki.
I can't remember as to how many they were.
But there were many people inside the kitchen.
Kodwa ekitchen kwakunabantu abaningi.
Awuthi iningi ngizothi if being the number just ngisakhumbula inumber ukuthi bayingaki.
Not to say many, it's just that I can't remember their number so as to be exact.
Yeah, but you can't deny that there were many people because you can't recall the number.
Kodwa ke awungeke ukuphikiseke ukuthi babe baningi abantu basekitchen ngoba awubakhumbuli bona ukuthi babe bangaki.
Ngikhumbula kahle it's not like we were baningi, it's like baningi.
But if I remember well, it's not to say that they were many.
Yes, I also want to be specific. Are you also including Constable Mosia?
Naye umsiya uyamfaka kuleyo number leyo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And at the time when you left all those people inside the kitchen.
Uma seniphuma ke nina ke nabashiya labo bantu labo ekitchen.
The kitchen la phakathi kwekitchen nelona ne dining room lapho.
It's not specifically
kitchen maybe indawo.
Not specifically in the kitchen. The kitchen is small. Between the kitchen and the dining room, the witness points here. Say the kitchen is this size.
Okay. So what's your answer then?
Basithole la besime khona besime la in between the kitchen and the dining room.
They found us where we were standing between the kitchen and the dining room,
Not the kitchen specific.
not specifically in the kitchen.
Do I understand correctly that those were senior members of the SAPS?
Ngabe ama senior members bona.
Yebo.
Yes.
And when they arrived at the crime scene, they would have expected, they would get a report from you who have arrived first at the crime scene.
Ukuthi ke uma befika bona babezothola umbiko kunina abafika kuqala ku crime scene
Bazothola ku Captain Zwane.
from Captain Zwane.
Ah, okay. So you were not the one who who gave them the report about the crime scene?
No.
Thank you, my lord. I've got no further questions.
Thanks. Mr. Baloyi, any re?
Oh, I'm sorry, my lord. Just one. I'm sorry, my lord. My apologies. Did you testified that you spoke to Makumalo when you were from the hospital
Yebo.
to the house? Is
yes.
that correct?
Yes.
And also inside the house, you also spoke to Makumalo?
Nasendlini futhi nakhuluma naye.
Lapho sibonisa khona ukuthi yenzekile.
That's where she was pointing out to us that it happened here.
Oh, okay. Did Makumalo at any stage tell you that there was a cell phone robbed during
Ngaba.
the incident?
Ingaba khona la anitshela khona Makhumalo ukuthi kune cell phone eyarojwa kuleso sigameko leso.
Yebo eyi-1.
Yes, one.
What did you say?
Wathini?
Bathi bathathe i-cellphone yakhe if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, she said Kelly's phone was taken, or they took Kelly's phone.
From where?
Bayithatha kuphi?
Ish, ngisakhumbula ukuthi
I can't remember where.
Oh, okay. Did you record that information in your statement?
Akubhala phansi lokho statements up? No.
Oh, okay. Did you also convey that message to the other police officers that the cell phone was robbed as well?
Was yes.
Thank you, my lord. I've got no further questions.
Yes, Mr. Baloyi.
Just one or two aspects. In cross-examination by all counsel, you mentioned that you conducted a search there in the kitchen where or in the vicinity of the cupboards. Can you just explain perhaps what type of search did you conduct?
Uma ubuza ibona bonke ke abameli shilo ukuthi nasesha ke lapho ekitchen la kune cupboard khona. Uma ungachaza nje ukuthi the search ukhuluma ngayo search kanjani?
afike usearch nje ubheke around check nje ukuthi
You just check and you look around whether there'll be something that you can find or you can see. And if there is something, you then put something just to indicate.
Now, counsel for accused number 5, Advocate Mshololo, asked the
Manje kuzofika nini ke kuwena ke ukuthi manje le sekuyi crime scene.
klika kahle klike mase ngibona usenza bheke phezulu la ukuthi yo alephe lesini.
It really clicked when I saw Senzo facing upwards that, hey, this was indeed a sin.
Thank you, my lord. That is all.
Thanks. Just tell me for my information, were you ever told that there were other projectiles or cartridges or casings which were found on the scene after you and your colleague had
No, my lord.
searched, as you say?
The witness says no, my lord.
You are never told about that.
Yes.
I believe that you searched. Did you have an idea that a bullet can ricochet?
Ingabe
From a-
wawuno
That's good. And?
Azange sithole.
we didn't find any.
Okay, thanks. Okay, thank you, sir.
Just one, my lord, arising from the court's question. Thank you, my lord. You said you checked the holes. Am I correct? Did I hear correct?
Mahof now abheka.
Yebo.
Yes.
That hole, the one at the door. You see that one?
Yebo.
Maybe my lord, can the witness be assisted? Yeah. If there was hole, what type of the hole was it?
Uma ungachaza ke leyabo ukuthi yenjani.
If you still remember.
Uma kukuthi usakhumbula.
Hlepukile nje routine vele.
It's damaged.
Damaged.
Okay.
Ibuyileyo.
And then you sure that inside you couldn't see anything?
Phakathi zange ndibone lutho. No.
Thank you, my lord. Very good. I have no further questions.
Thank you. Yes, thanks, sir.
Qedile. Thanks.
Please, may we take the long adjournment at this point?
Okay, long adjournment.